August 12, and it paved the way for the release of detained rebels, including high-profile figures. And the government also outlines economic reforms that are targeting growth, deficit reduction, and job protection for Gabonese citizens. All of these was one of the efforts by the newly approved amnesty order, and it applies to members of the Committee for Transition and Restoration of Institutions. Now, this committee arrested former President Ali Bongo in August 2023, as well as those that are involved in the Board 2019 coup attempt. Among the beneficiaries of this new amnesty is Lieutenant Kelly Ondobiang, who is a former Republican Guard officer, along with Dimitri Nze Minkom and Bedima, who were sentenced to 15 years in prison for their roles in the 2019 uprising. Some call it a rebellion. Well, the government framed the decision, that is to grant amnesty, as a step toward appeasement and national reconciliation, and that signals a definitive close to years of political instability in Gabon. And this move has been explained to align with earlier promises by transitional President Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, who had vowed not to forget his allies behind bars. Just to give you a little more story happening in Gabon, alongside these political measures, granting amnesty and just letting them go, people that are involved in 2020, the government also unveiled an ambitious economic agenda following a 2-day seminar. The President Nguema has set a medium-term target of 10%, emphasizing value-added production and a reduction in raw material export. He also heard of key fiscal reforms, including eliminating tax exemptions to boost revenue, also introducing automatic deductions for improved tax compliance, and they are also making moves to strengthen expenditure controls to enhance transparency in the country. From Gabon, we take our next story from Uganda, where the opposition has filed a petition to quash legislation that allows military courts to try civilians. I hope you listened the day we took this report on News Across Africa right here on Citizen FM 93.7, and that the Ugandan government have decided to allow military courts to try civilians. Well, I did say on that day that if there is any update on that story, we'll be bringing you up to speed. So yes, now they may have thought about it. It's been a few months since then. So the opposition have decided to file a petition to quash it. They don't want it to be a thing anymore. Yeah, so opponents of Uganda's government have asked the Constitutional Court to please just remove the whole legislation that would allow the military court to prosecute civilians. They say that they fear that the law could be used for political purposes. It was mostly the National Unity Platform, the main opposition party in Uganda, that filed a case in the Constitutional Court to nullify the new law. They violated all the processes that they should follow while passing laws. That's what NUP Secretary General Rubongoya told Republic Consultation before the government decided to make that a thing in Uganda. The Supreme Court barred the prosecution of civilians in the tribunals in January, saying that they lack the legal competence to conduct criminal trials in a fair and impartial manner. But just in May, that's why I said if you listened that period, I took the story. So as I mentioned earlier, it's been a few months. So in May, May is like 3 months ago, yes, May, June, July. Parliament passed a bill to reinstate the right of military courts to prosecute civilians, and Museveni, the president, signed it into law. Well, now, local and international right campaigners have long accused the government of using military courts to pursue political opponents of Museveni, who's the president. He's been in power for quite a while. He's been in power for 40 years. But officials say that only civilians who use guns for political violence are prosecuted in those tribunals. So the opposition is saying, yes, we understand you're saying that it's only civilians who use guns for political violence that are prosecuted in those tribunals for now. But this could metamorphose into something else if it is not nipped in the bud. Let people who are civilians be tried by the regular courts and let the military do its military thing. Don't say military courts should try civilians. That's like putting a square peg in a round hole. Anyway, after the president signed the law, the then Army spokesperson Magezi said it would deter the formation of military political groups. Uganda's military chief, who is also Museveni's son, congratulated lawmakers for passing the law when they did in May. And many supporters and leaders, including supporters of the NUP, that's the main opposition party, including Bobby Wine, who he's a singer but he's turned a politician now, and is preparing to challenge Museveni's next year's election. These people have previously been charged or prosecuted by military tribunals. January Supreme Court ruling, that's the one where they said stop it. It forced authorities to transfer the military trial of a major opposition figure, Basige, for alleged offenses including treason to a civilian court. But now, Basige is still in detention. It's been 9 months since his arrest and he has been repeatedly denied bail. So they're saying if we are having this situation now, that this thing is still fresh and people still have a chance to say something about it, what would happen when it's fully grounded, when it sets its foot like into the sand of Uganda? We cannot sit and watch this happen. Allow the military courts to handle military-related issues and civilians be tried by the regular courts. That's where it is right now. They've they've put out a petition to quash it. But will this petition be upheld? Let's see how it goes. Again, as I like to say, there's an update on the story. I will be bringing you all the juicy stories about it right here on Citizen FM 93.7 on News Across Africa. When we return from the break, more stories come your way. Stay with us.
Did you miss out on the news during the week? Not to worry. Retrospect is here to make up for the misinformation. Retrospect is a complete package of all the major news headlines that made the airwaves from Sunday to Saturday. Join me, Esther Musu, on the program Retrospect on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Sunday at 6 p.m. Retrospect. We keep you